Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. We are playing as WWE in the year 2015. I almost said current year, and it is still 2015. I know, but it's almost 2016, and I just recently learned that there is actually now a 2016 mod already, so I didn't want to confuse anybody when I said the current year because we're so close to 2016. You know what I mean. Let's get off that topic, shall we? Anyway, though, this isn't exactly right now, WWE. We are in April of 2015. This is the Friday Night SmackDown after WrestleMania, so we're just coming off the WrestleMania season and we're building into the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And I mentioned in a previous WWE video that I'm going to be changing things up here, whereas the show's already going to be booked, and we're just going to cut into it because WWE has more of a storyline-based thing, and I'm going to capture some of the elements of storyline-based things where I type out my own angles. Not all of them are going to be like that. Some of them are just going to be basic things where it's not going to be much. I'll just do the describing myself because this does take a lot of time, and I don't want to be spending too much time booking the things. But some of the certain ones that are like major storylines, expect actual story to go on into it. I know on the Monday Night Raw video, one of the commenters asked if I was trying a new writing style. They noticed that a lot of the segments are a lot shorter. And to answer your question, I guess in a way, yeah, I am trying a new writing style. As I said, I am going to be booking the whole thing, but you may notice that the segments are a lot shorter, and it's not necessarily me really trying something new. I just kind of realized that my perception of time was pretty vast. I thought like maybe 8 minutes isn't that long when 8 minutes is a pretty long time to get off something that you just want to say that could take you maybe 5 minutes. So things that really don't need that much time I was giving it to. So I'm trying to be more conscientious of the time I put into ratings because even though sometimes it works out, I'll just give you guys an extra minute or two to kind of help put the show along to give it that extra edge if I need more angles or I just need a few more minutes to get the show booked and I don't want to do another angle. But at the same time, I don't want to like do injustice to it because I'm trying to like book it in actual WWE style, in a way, not exactly in my own kind of perception of WWE style. So it's more of like I still kind of want to make it seem like an actual show and not just they can be out there and talking for 5 minutes because they have good entertainment skill. No, I still want to kind of limit it and kind of make a story out of it. But anyway, not all my ramblings done. Let's move on to the show, shall we? Oh man, I gotta reveal it to you. All right, let's do this quick. No one look. Stop looking. Okay. Oh, you guys probably paused. Who knows? Anyway, so we have a bout that had solid ring action but not existing crowd heat. The Ascension defeating Heath Slater and Adam Rose when Connor defeated Adam Rose by pinfall with the Fall of Man. This got a 40D minus, and I didn't mention this, but this is being held, or this is the pre-show. We're not in the actual part of the show yet, so this is just the pre-show. Ratings don't matter too much. We are being held in front of 10,000 people in the Texas American Bank Center. I don't know why I said it so weird. Don't ask me. So either way, not the best rating, but like I said, this is just kind of trying to boost the Ascension up because I kind of want to do them justice. They were a great team down in NXT. I enjoyed them. I don't really mind the whole face paint thing. It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers other people. I still think the real thing WWE messed up on with the Ascension was not really necessarily the face paint. I feel like that's just people not wanting to accept change or any kind of alter to a gimmick. But I think it was more as like they didn't book them as the dominating tag team that they were. They should have just went through established tag teams. Start off with jobber tag teams and then move on to established tag teams, so on and so forth. So I'm trying to build them up, and then eventually they might get a tag team title run. Not too soon, though. I have plans for the tag team division, but I mean that's one of my main things I want to do in this mod or this playthrough is bring the tag team division up. So any improvements? Nope. Moving on, then we go to a 41D in an awful match that was completely devoid of heat. Paige defeated Summer Rae with the Rampage. I think Summer Rae actually has horrible she's just a bad wrestler. She got a negative crowd reaction too. Summer Rae, you're not good. But this is also on the pre-show, and it's just a way to get Paige a little bit more momentum, even though that might actually affect her a little bit worse. So then we go on to a 62C in a match on some good action and average heat. The Miz defeating Jack Swagger with the skull-crushing finale, 62C. I'm satisfied with that. Not only did Zeb do some good work, but him and Swagger have excellent chemistry. I don't know if I had that on my previous mod, so I don't think that's actually added in. I think that it was just luck here, and that's awesome. Because even though I am putting Swagger under right now, I do have eventual plans for Jack Swagger, they're just not right now. So either way, Swagger's improving in both technical and performance skill, and The Miz is improving in technical. And our final match of the pre-show, we have a 54 C-, in a match that had some good action and average heat. Luke Harper defeated Mark Henry in 9 minutes and 43 seconds with the pile driver. And also, I don't know why this didn't say this in any other match, but we just discovered that Scott Stanford and Byron Saxton have pretty good chemistry when calling matches together, so that's awesome. If anyone is curious, my Friday Night SmackDown announce team is Jerry the King Lawler, Byron Saxton, and Scott Stanford. The Monday Night Raw announce team is Michael Cole, JBL, and Booker T, and the NXT announce team is Tom Phillips, Renee Young, and Corey Graves, if anyone was curious. And Mark Henry's improving in both technical and performance. So let's move on to the actual show, starting off with a 73 B-. I guess I took the time to write it. Let's read some of it, but I might go off a little bit because I didn't get to actually finish what I wanted to write. I didn't have enough room, and I figured I'll just tell you guys about it. So anyway, Triple H opens up the show. This might be a little weird to some of you because usually you won't see Triple H or Stephanie McMahon on SmackDown. And by the way, Stephanie McMahon we probably won't see much of because she's only contracted for pay-per-views. I might have to fix that, but I'm not sure if I can. Let me know if I can. I might explore it myself, but I don't think I can. I should have edited it. Whatever. So anyway, I am playing as Triple H, so we might see him more on SmackDown than you would normally see him. I'm kind of before I looked at SmackDown as a B show. Now I'm kind of looking at it as not necessarily an A show equal to Raw, but kind of the way to progress storylines, not too much, but give a little bit of extra added on to it. Kind of like, you have the main storyline, which would be Raw, and then you have kind of like the little bonus parts of a story. That's kind of like the extra addition of it, the ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 to the Marvel vs. Capcom 3, if anyone knows where I'm catching here. I can go Super Street Fighter references. I mean, I got all day. Either way, let's move on. Triple H opens up the show, welcomes the crowd, promises them a great show tonight, but before the show can begin, he just needs to get something off his chest. You see, as of late, there have been two superstars. I spelled the word Ben Veen. Don't notice that, please. But you already did because I just pointed it out. That he just can't stand anymore. He states that he's tried to ignore it and see what kind of qualities they can bring to the table, bring to the roster, because he's always looking to see what's best for business. But, the fact is, after watching them for, so long over the past couple months, he just realizes that there is really nothing they can bring. And he goes on, even stating them by their names now. Oh, man, I said Dean Ambrose. That's not supposed to say Dean Ambrose, but I was supposed to say Dolph Ziggler. My apologies. Dolph Ziggler, since Survivor Series, I just can't get over how hard you fought to get rid of me and my wife and, try to ruin our livelihood. And, I tried firing you, but that, of course, didn't work out. You found your way back into the company. So I tried, just sitting back and seeing what you could do, what you could bring to the table, what could you offer to my business. And I sat back and watched, and then I saw you lose, and then lose, and then lose, and then you lose. And I started realizing, it don't matter how good of a wrestler you are. It doesn't matter how good you go in that ring and how long you can put on a match and how great of a match you can put on. What's the point of investing in a loser? And then there's Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose. Oh, man, my Facebook sub's still in the background. My apologies, nerds and geeks. You guys heard that. And then look at Johnny. Johnny's showing up on Skype. What is he doing? The Baba Ganoush? We're going off scene here. Actually, no. I don't want to show you guys anything like that. Boy, how unprofessional am I? Give me a minute. All right. How unprofessional of me, nerds and geeks. I am so sorry. Either way, moving on. He then moves on to start talking about Dean Ambrose and saying, Ambrose, he's always just kind of been that thorn in my side, where was I at? So I can kind of, get where I was at. Okay. And he talks about how, Ambrose, you're unstable. I completely switch up their names. I noticed that. That one says Dean Ambrose and that one says Dolph Ziggler. You're unstable. You're a lunatic. And you're just bad for business. You're not best for business, you're bad for business. And you become more of a liability, get out of here, Johnny, than anything. And you do more harm than good. And he pretty much goes on to say that, it wouldn't really be worth firing you guys because it's not worth the money that I'm going to have to pay you guys to fire you. I'd much rather make your guys' life a living hell and force you guys to quit. That way I don't have to pay you a dime. And I'm kind of going for more heelish Triple H here, who is trying to control the company. He wants to mold it in his view, and he's going to be kind of embracing that heel role that the IWC has given him all these years. He's going to kind of bring up that I'm going to be burying people and stuff like that. And he wants to bury both Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose. Kind of a little bit of an added element to my storyline because I wasn't really enjoying the Stardust storyline I had going on before. And then he goes on to announce that later on tonight we'll see both Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler in one-on-one action as they will take on Kane and the Big Show in separate matches. And then we go on to have the announcers put over the fact that we will see Ambrose take on Kane later tonight and Ziggler take on Big Show later tonight. Ambrose got a better rating. And then we see Daniel Bryan walking down, to the ring. Gets a 79B, that overness. Thank you, Daniel. And that'll be cut to a commercial break. Before the match can begin, though, we hear Bad News Barrett's music play. He gets on the mic. He does his, I've got some bad news for you. I'm going to be on commentary for this match, and I'm watching you, Bryan. Blah, blah, blah. Simple jibber-jabber. Distracting Bryan a little bit. No worker improvements. There never is. I don't know why I checked that. We go on to have our opening bout of the night. Got a 76B-. Featured great action and a good crowd. Daniel Bryan defeating Stardust by pinfall. They just don't have good chemistry, though. It seems like they don't click, and it just made for an awkward bout, nerds and geeks. Just made for an awkward bout. Which is kind of sad because not Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan and Stardust are actually two of my considered two of my best athletes on my roster. So it's a little shame to see two of the better athletes having good chemistry together, but we know that now. And looks like there won't be a feud between these two later on, which I might have been planning. Also, Bad News Barrett was on commentary for that match. Daniel Bryan is improving in performance skill, and Stardust is improving in Rumble. Let me just point out how stupid this sounds. I mean, it says they had a great action. I am so sorry for that, nerds and geeks. Sometimes you just need to stop everything and make a fart noise with your tongue. I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. Anyway, it's like I was competing with myself to talk. That was so weird. I'm like super hyper right now for some reason. It says they had a match that had some, great action and a good crowd. Yet they don't. It said that their match was awkward. I feel like that should kind of not say that then. But maybe I'm just nitpicking. And then we go on to see Daniel Bryan celebrating. But what's this? Oh, Bad News Barrett leaves. Boom! What's it called? The boom. The boom. What the hell's it called? That elbow move he does. I can't believe I forgot what it's called. I have whatever. Bad News. He hits him with the Bad News elbow or whatever the hell it's called. And then, he just stands over him posing with the title and laughing at him, screaming, "This is mine," or something. Just kind of a way to elevate the storyline. I can't believe I forgot the name of that elbow move. I'm going to remember it later on. Watch. We then go backstage to see Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler, just kind of, a generic hype-up match for their match against Kane and Big Show, pretty much saying that, Triple H has a problem with us and we have a problem with you, yada, yada, yada. Nothing too big. And then we see this is the Raw recap, nerds and geeks. Nothing too special. It's just the recap of the events that happened with between the match of Randy Orton and Roman Reigns and how Bray Wyatt distracted him. Nothing too special, just a Raw recap, cheap video. We then go on to a Roman Reigns match. Gets a 56C-. Extremely short match. Roman Reigns defeats Fandango by submission. What? Roman Reigns don't do no submission moves. Rosa Mendes did do some good work ringside. By the way, for some reason, Layla was still Fandango's manager. I changed it to Rosa Mendes because at this time that's who it was. I don't know why that was the way it was, but either way, Fandango did have some good momentum. That's why I put him in this match over Roman. Just get some more momentum on Roman's side. And look at that. Fandango's also improving in performance, so it's pretty rad. Roman then grabs a mic. Gets a 74B- as he just swears vengeance on Bray Wyatt. You cost me my world title shot, man. I'm the chosen one. I'm choosing you. I don't know. Some cheesy Roman Reigns thing I'm sure WWE wrote. It got a 74B-, so it wasn't that bad. But he worked the crowd well, using the freedom, so obviously people enjoyed it. I just don't really know what he would have said. He just pretty much swearing vengeance that he's going to get Bray Wyatt back. Nothing special, honestly. Like I said, SmackDown's more of like a little pushes, the extra stuff. Nothing too serious. It's not a confrontation. This did well, though. 77B, just Triple H psyching up Kane and Big Show for their matches later on tonight. Nothing special there either. And then we have in the ring, Lana and Rusev. Lana doing her usual American rundown. Oh, America sucks. Mother Russia's better. Blah, blah, blah. Rusev. Nah, 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 nah. John Cena sucks. Yada, yada, yada. And just typical pre-match stuff before we go on to a random squash match. Extremely short match. Rusev defeating R-Truth by submission with what was supposed to be the accolade, but it didn't say that. Not the best rating, though. 45D, I was expecting a little better. Lack of psychology, though. I mean, it was a 5-minute match. How much psychology do you need for that? Lana did good work ringside, though, and Rusev's improving in Rumble performance. What made this match not good? Rusev got a negative crowd reaction? People love Rusev! Well, I don't mean they love Rusev, but I mean, whatever. Penalized for length. It's a 5-minute match. Maybe that was too long of a match. I figured R-Truth had a little bit more momentum, so whatever. And then Rusev cuts a promo on John Cena saying John Cena's fake, and he's gonna get his title back. It was a fluke win. All the jibber jabber. Lana helping him through that. Got a 70C plus, not too bad for Rusev. We then go on to the back where both Jimmy and Jey Uso are hyping the upcoming tag match with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, talking about their win on Monday Night Raw and all that fun stuff. Before backstage, we get a 40D minus, which sucks. I wanted way better for this. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd attacked the Usos backstage, leaving them down and out. Natalya also switched over to a cocky gimmick, which got a 90 rating, and she hinted at a heel turn. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Maybe I switched her gimmick because she might be turning. I don't know. I did wanted this to do better. I did. But whatever. We then go on to a 58C. What the hell? Why was there 3 Natalya? They're really putting it on you, nerds and geeks. We don't want Natalya heel turn. You're dealing with it. And a match had some good action, but not much weighing heat. The tag team champions, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, by the way. If anyone has a team name for Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, I wouldn't mind taking any offers, any suggestions. And I don't like that Masters of the WWE Universe team, name they had in here before. So if anyone's going to say that's the name, I'm not taking it. They defeated the New Day members, Big E and Kofi Kingston, which one thing I'm happy about is in my last save, Big E and Kofi did not have good chemistry, which kind of made me not want to push the New Day. But now that they have negative chemistry? Or not negative, I'm sorry, neutral chemistry? What am I saying? What am I doing with my life? Okay. They have neutral tag team chemistry. And that means that I might be able to push the New Day now. Also, Xavier Woods did some good work ringside. So we got a 58C minus here. Cesaro and Kidd, of course, getting the victory. Tyson Kidd defeating Kofi Kingston by submission. Didn't want it to be submission, but either way, it was supposed to be a pinfall. Ends up being submission. Get over it. Natalya did the distraction, which led to her heel turn. Yay, Natalya is now a heel. Ain't everything grand. Apologies for coughing in your ear. That one snuck up on me. That and I don't have a thing where I can easily mute my microphone anymore like I did before. So Big E's improving in performance. Kofi's improving in Rumble, technical, and flying. Okay. And Tyson's improving in performance. Everyone's doing good. And then we see Dolph Ziggler walking to the ring. Also doing really good there. Nice 77B. Thank you, Dolph. Then we have a 64C bout that featured great action and average heat. Ziggler drawing with the Big Show following a double disqualification when we saw Kane run out and then Dean Ambrose coming to the save. And once again, Scott Stanford and Byron Saxton. Good chemistry. Always happy to see that. Big Show's improving in performance. We then hear Triple H's music as he comes down to the ring to put an end to the chaos. And he decides that instead of doing 2 different singles matches, we'll just make it a tag match and I'll have the former 2-time tag team champions Kane and Big Show squash you two. And that proceeds to our main event of the night, which tag team match playa gets a 68C+. Some good action in average heat. Kane and Big Show defeating Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose in 15 minutes and 19 seconds. When what? Who put a disqualification in here? This was not supposed to be a disqualification. This was supposed to be Triple H distracted Dean Ambrose, turns around, knockout punch. That's the end of the match. I don't know why it says disqualification, but that probably affected my grade. Let me just double check. I'm curious to see if that it was something. Probably just gonna say booking. Dean Ambrose was penalized because someone else is playing his gimmick better. Ooh, I've never seen that one before. I wonder who has this gimmick. Okay, I guess that didn't really do much of an effect. And then we end off the show with the 69C plus with just, Kane and Big Show beating down on Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. Look at that. 23 and lost us in 16. Ah, damn it. I'm not good at national companies. I'm only good at Colt. National companies are just, they're horrible. Well, they're not horrible. It's just they're difficult for me. I can't connect with those random people who are like, oh, I'm here more for the story. I don't really care much for the wrestling. I'm sorry, you need to like both. I can't tell one side of the story and not tell both. I'm not the WWE. I'm more like ROH. I mean, ROH doesn't really tell much of a story either. That's how I would book a company. I guess I'm more like NXT, which has a high rating, or not rating, emphasis on both wrestling and story. We do have some decisions. We'll get to that in a second, nerds and geeks. I won't end it off yet. I'll show you guys that stuff. Let's see, SmackDown, pretty good. People seem to have enjoyed it. And the Bromans won the title, beginning their third reign. Good for the Bromans. The Bruisers. Manic and the Great Sonata. I wonder who... That's actually a team, though, believe it or not. That's not the Bruisers. That's the Revolution. I would know. Like I said, I have a personal TNA playthrough. Some of you asked about it, by the way. I haven't played it in a while. They won the titles on Explosion? Jesus. That was stupid. I got rid of Explosion, like, right away. Okay, so Pro Wrestling Guerrillas made a contract to Matt Hardy, Jay Lethal. CZW's made a contract to Jay Lethal. And Victor apparently is feeling the effects of a grueling schedule. Not developmental. Wrong one. Dolph Ziggler's fatigued. Interesting. All right, here we go. So we got some contract negotiations here. I am going to sign a contract with Brad Maddox because unlike WWE, I see a lot of potential in Brad Maddox. So there we go. We're also signing Cody Hall to a developmental deal. So there you go, Cody Hall. We're also signing Colt Toombs, who is the son of the legendary Roddy Piper, to a developmental deal. Rest his soul. I loved Roddy Piper, by the way. One of my, I wouldn't say all-time favorite wrestlers, but he was definitely someone that I took a lot of influence in when I was creating my character. We will rename these people, by the way. They're not going to be named... Well, Cody Hall might be named Cody Hall, but Colt Toombs will probably be called something more Roddy Piper-esque. Maybe not. I don't know. Davina Fly, some of you may know her as Rosita from TNA. I hope I got that right. I know it was Sarita and Rosita. I believe she was Rosita. We're signing her to a contract. And then El Hijo de Rey Mysterio. He is the cousin to Rey Mysterio. I feel like he'd be a good mass superstar. Ross Von Erich. He signed before Marshall Von Erich. By the way, here's all the people I've sent out contracts to. Interesting. Well, signing Ross to a contract, and Shoal Guerrero, who is the daughter of Eddie Guerrero. All right. What the hell? Well, we're going to call him Rey Mysterio Jr. I know that technically the Rey Mysterio we know is Rey Mysterio Jr., but unless some of you guys have a better name, but I still think, kind of like a homage to, or we can just go call him Rey Mysterio 2. Let's do that. Rey Mysterio 2. I like that actually a little bit better. And we are giving him a WWE mask. It's going to look like his, but it's our mask. We're sending you down to developmental. Go down there. Rey Mysterio 2. I'm not going to show me naming all the people. I'll showcase naming them all later. But NXT is tonight, so I'm going to book that show next. And, yeah. Let's showcase our wrestlers in the developmental territory before I end this off, so. Isn't there like an active thing? Yeah, there it is. Status, active wrestler. There we go. So, remember, Blake Murphy, Banks, and Kevin Owens are all on the main roster right now with a couple other people like Finn Balor and Hideo Itami because they believe they're not ready or they don't need to be in developmental, so I'm just not going to argue with them. So we have Aiden English, Alex Riley, Alexa Bliss, Angelo Dawkins, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Braun Strowman, Bull Dempsey, Cameron, Charlotte, Cody Hall, Colin Cassidy, Colt Toombs, David Otunga, Davina Fly, Emma, Enzo Amore, Eva Marie, Hugo Knox, Jay Bronson, Jasmine Aribi, Jason Jordan, Kalisto, Mojo Rawley, Rey Mysterio 2, Richie Steamboat, Ross Von Erich, Sami Zayn, Sawyer Fulton, Scott Dawson, Joel Guerrero, Simon Gotch, Sin Cara, Solomon Crowe, Travis Tyler, Troy McClain, Ty Dillinger, and Tyler Breeze. A lot of ties. And that's about it, Nerds and Geeks. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, comment, like, subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name's OMG WTF LOL FTWBRB. I'll see you guys next time. So until then, have a good one.